children. Today we shall begin with the new chapter, or rather new unit, that is unit 3, and the chapter is 10. The name of the chapter is hydrosphere. Okay, so in the previous classes we were doing with the unit 2 and the chapters were there. So from today we'll be starting unit 3, and the first chapter in unit 3 is your hydrosphere, but the chapter number, the serial number is 10. Okay, but this is from unit 3, hydrosphere. So the word hydrosphere means water. So as you know that our earth's surface, isn't it, the surface of the earth is made up of land and water. So water body, that is 71% of the earth is covered in water, and rest 29% is your land mass. And when we view our earth from the outer space, isn't it, our earth looks blue, it appears blue in color, and this blue color is due to the presence of water. As I told you, 71% of the earth is covered in water. So because of this water body, our earth appears blue when it is viewed from the outer space. Okay, and this water body is surrounded by the land masses. So huge land masses, as you know, these are known as the continents, and there are 7 continents in total. Okay, and the height of the depth of this water body, including the lake, okay, including the lake, is 3,800 meters. Please remember this, 3,800 meters, and it is 5 times that of the mean height of the land, which is only 710 meters. So just imagine the the depth of this particular, the mean depth of this water body, including the lakes. It is 3,800 meters. Okay. So now the first thing is we'll see the meaning of hydrosphere. So what do you mean by hydrosphere? So all these water bodies on the surface of the earth, collectively they form hydrosphere, or we can say it's a layer of water on the surface of the earth. So see the definition here. The combined mass of water found on the earth. Okay, combined mass, that's the total water body on the earth's surface, such as in oceans, rivers, streams, lakes, in the atmosphere and underground. So the combined mass of water which is found on the surface of the earth is known as a hydrosphere, or it is a layer of water on the surface of the earth is known as a hydrosphere. Okay. So as I told you, it occupies 71% or 71% of the earth surface is covered with water, and rest 29% as a land mass. That's a continents. Okay. So now let us see the main source of water on the earth. So what are the sources of water? The first one is your ocean water. So huge water bodies are known as oceans, isn't it? These are the largest water body on the earth surface, on the surface of the earth, and they contain 97% of the total water. That's total water available in the earth, on the earth's surface, is found where? It is in the ocean. And this ocean water is unfit for human purpose or for any other purpose, because it has a high content of salt. Okay, so 97% of the water is salty. So remaining we have only 3%. So only 3% is a usable water. Okay, so then we have the next one, water on land. So the water on land is a result of the precipitation. Okay, is a result of the precipitation or seepage from underground, which forms the rivers and the streams, and finally this water which forms the rivers and the streams will also go and join the sea, and finally they join the ocean. Okay, so water on land means it's a result of the precipitation. Then next one is the underground water. So the water that falls on the surface of the earth, like in the form of rain, snow. So a part of this water will evaporate into the atmosphere, and a part of this particular water that falls on the surface will seep inside into the soil. Okay, so the water which we find under the land forms your underground water. Then next one is the water in the atmosphere. So water is also present in the atmosphere in the form of water vapor, okay, in the form of water vapor, which gives rise to humidity. So what is humidity? It's an important element of weather and climate. That's the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere is known as humidity. Now when the water, means the ocean water, gets heated, okay, the water turns into vapor and therefore it rises into the atmosphere, and there it forms your it condenses, then it forms a cloud, and again it falls back to the surface of the earth in the form of rain and snow. So these are the 4 important sources of water on the earth. Ocean water, that's the largest water body. Huge water bodies are known as ocean. Then water on the land, the result of precipitation. Then underground water, the water that sits inside the soil. And water in the atmosphere, that is due to the process of evaporation. The water changes into vapor and then it enters the atmosphere. Okay. Now the next important thing is this water body, they all are interconnected, in the sense they are connected to each other and they are constantly in motion, and the combined process of or the movement of the water on the atmosphere, then in the lithosphere and the hydrosphere, is known as a hydrological cycle. There's a constant movement, isn't it? Atmosphere, then the hydrosphere, then lithosphere. So this combined movement of water between the land, water and the air is known as a hydrological cycle or the water cycle. And in this particular chapter, we are concerned only with ocean water. Okay, so we are concerned only with the ocean water. So we are not going to do with the other water bodies like river, lakes and all. But we have to focus only, we have to see only that we are going to learn only about your ocean water. Okay, so as I told you, ocean, these are the huge water body, isn't? They are the largest water body on the earth surface, and they contain around 97% of the total water available on the earth. Okay, so first let us see their movement. As you know, the ocean water, they are not static. Okay, they keeps on moving horizontally and vertically. So the movement of the water, ocean water, okay, it takes place in the following 3 ways. So this is the main portion of the chapter, okay, the movement of the ocean water. So first one is your tides, second one ocean current, and the third one is your ocean waves. And as per your syllabus, you have only these 2, okay, tides and the ocean current.